Hello, folks of YouTube and SL. Welcome back to episode 2, Turnabout Sisters. Day 2 of the trial. Here we go. Alright, September 7th, 10 a.m. Court number 1. More like base attorneys. There he is! I saw him. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Maya Fey. For anybody who is joining us now for the first time or is catching up or whatever, this is episode 2. Mia died horribly in her own office, and so we now have to try to solve her murder. Alright, court is now in session for the trial of Miss Maya Fey. Oh, here he is. This is a man, of course, I've seen on Twitter and or other places a million times. We know him from memes and the internet. It's Edgeworth. I don't know much about him in-game. I'm predicting... Yo, AT, what's up? Welcome. How are you? Thank you so much for the bits. I very much appreciate it. Welcome. Prediction for one Miles Edgeworth. He feels like he should be Seto Kaiba by way of Maximilian Pegasus, is how I'm feeling so far. AT, thank you so much for the resub. Welcome back to the diner. Enjoy your emotes. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. You're almost at 900 years. That's incredible. Welcome back. It's good to see you. Hopefully you're doing well. So as we're doing, we're gonna do extremely mild voice acting. I will not be doing a posh accent unless I feel like it. But we're gonna try to make him, you know, a little more elite. You know, he feels like he should be very snarky. Prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Miles Edgeworth. Better not show any signs of weakness today, or he'll be on me in an instant. Mr. Edgeworth, please give the court your opening statement. Thank you, Your Honor. The defendant, Miss Maya Fey, was at the scene of the crime. Prosecution has evidence she committed this murder, and we have a witness who saw her do it. Prosecution sees no reason to doubt the facts of this case, Your Honor. I see. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Let's begin then. If we may call our first witness, Your Honor. Prosecution calls the chief officer at the scene, Detective Gumshoe. Detective Dick Gumshoe. It's so funny. Why is that name hilarious? But thank you for the bits. What the heck? Witness, please state your name and profession to the court. Sir. My name's Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm the detective in charge of... Okay, thank you so... AT, what the heck? Thank you so much for all the support. Welcome means a lot. Welcome. Thanks so much. Welcome back. And, yeah. Thanks for all the bits. I'm the detective in charge of homicides down at the precinct, sir. Detective Gumshoe. Please describe for us the details of this murder. Very well, sir. Let me use this floor map of the office to explain. Ooh, a diagram. Okay. No, hey, don't feel bad at all. Never feel bad. If you gotta go do stuff, people gotta live their lives. I'm doing my thing. No, don't be sorry. Stop it. Stop it. No. I really much appreciate, you know, the best thing anybody could ever do is just the fact that just seeing you again is always great. So welcome back, everybody, and yeah, thanks so much. It means a lot. Yeah, thank you so much for all the support. And yeah, never any pressure to be at a stream, you know. Especially, I know that can obviously feel the case with smaller streams especially, but I think for myself nor any other streamer should you ever feel pressured to show up. Like, you know what I mean? That's really important. Oh god, yeah. I mean, like, I'm expecting it to be fairly textual labels. Like, from what I've seen and heard, this is it's barely subtext is what I understand. The body was found by the window here. And the cause of death? Loss of blood due to being struck by a blunt object, sir. Murder weapon was a statue of the Thinker found next to the body, sir. Heavy enough to be a deadly weapon, even in a girl's hands, sir. Court accepts the statue as evidence. Still calling it a statue. Floor plans added to the court record. Okay. Now, detective. Yes, sir. You immediately arrested Miss Maya Fey, who was found at the scene, correct? Can you tell me why? Yes, sir. I had hard evidence she did it, sir. Detective Gumshoe. Please testify to the court about this hard evidence. Okay, here we go. Testimony. I'm so stressed. Okay. Testimony. I like the little blinking testimony light at the top left. Maya Fey's arrest. As soon as the phone call came in, I rushed to the scene. There were 2 people there already. The defendant, Ms. Maya Fey, and the lawyer, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I immediately arrested Ms. Maya Fey. Very smug about this. He's very sure of himself. Why? We had a witness account describing her. Witness saw Miss Maya Fey at the very moment of the murder. The very moment, you say? Very well. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Cross-examine what? I couldn't see a single contradiction in the testimony. Smack! Hey, Maya just threw something at me? What's this? Well, my sister couldn't find any contradictions in the witness's testimony. We're getting tutorials still. Very funny. She would bluff it and press the witness on every detail. Aha! The press button. The witness always slipped up and said something wrong. It worked lots of times. Heh. I should have expected Maya would know some of her sister's tricks. Alright, let's give this a try. Something the matter? No, Your Honor. I'd like to begin my cross-examination. Alright, here we go. As soon as the phone call came in, I rushed to the scene. Hold it! Who'd you say you got a call from? Hey pal, don't play dumb, you know who. Calls from a customer at the Gatewater Hotel, right across from the crime scene. Okay. I pressed. Not sure it did much, but... Right. Please continue. So we didn't lose any, like... I don't know what this bar means yet. Don't tell me, because, you know, they might explain it, but... I'm assuming it's, like, credibility or the judge not having it or something, so... Okay, 2 people there already. The defendant, Ms. Maya Fey, and the lawyer, Mr. Phoenix Wright. We showed up after Maya, though. Are you absolutely sure it was us? Listen, pal, your dumb act will only get you so far. Your funky hippie clothes and your spiky hair, you two stand out like suspicious people at a crime scene. Well, he does have a point about her. She is pretty unmistakable. Okay. True. Hold on, wait. Okay, we were there. That is true. Wait, hold on. Now I'm curious, because we were there after Maya, right? Let's try that again. Detective Gumshoe, how long would you say it took between you receiving the call and your arrival at the scene of the crime? Alright, I'd say it was about 3 minutes. That's pretty fast. Our motto this month is quick response. That's how I got there before the killer got away. Indeed. So, tell us who the 2 people you found on the scene were. Yes, sir. Okay. Gotcha. Right. Okay, the police got there. Right. Okay. Arrested Miss Maya Fey. Yep. Why? We had a witness account describing her. The witness saw Miss Maya Fey at the very moment of the murder. That we're gonna push it down, though. Hold on just 1 second. Yeah. If I heard correctly, this is a very good thinking face. You said you arrested her because you had hard evidence she did it, correct? Huh? Did I say that? Me? I heard you say it. You did say it. You said it. Oh, is the time until Phoenix died with Lyme disease? That's horrible. I'm so sorry, Phoenix. You've got to be more mindful of tick checks when going on the hikes. Exactly what about the suspicious woman in Pink's claim was hard evidence? What? Miss May isn't suspicious and she sure isn't pink, pal. She's extremely pink? What are you talking about? All she wears is pink. Now I'm confused. Well, I guess she is pink. Yeah, extremely. The, you did say it was extremely funny on the auto text. That was really, really good. That's enough, Detective Gumshoe. Do you have any more solid proof other than her claims, Detective? I guess Preston can have its advantages. Yes. Ugh. Sorry, I got the order of things mixed up in my testimony, Your Honor, sir. Your Honor, sir. There was something I should have told you about first, Your Honor. Very well, Detective. Let's hear your testimony again. Alright, once more from the top. Alright, hard evidence. Oh, it could be like the bar between us and the prosecution. After securing the suspect, I examined the scene of the crime with my own eyes. Found a memo written on a piece of paper next to the victim's body. On it, the word Maya was written clearly in blood. Lab test results showed that the blood was the victim's. Also, there was blood found on the victim's finger. Before she died, the victim wrote the killer's name. Order? Order in the court? Mr. Doctor, Your Honor, Sir, my lord. How do you like that? That's my hard evidence. Before we begin cross-examination, I have a question for you, detective. Your Honor? Why didn't you testify with this vital piece of evidence the first time? I forgot. I know, I'm real embarrassed I forgot about it, Your Honor, sir. Try to be more careful. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination. Alright, hard evidence. Here we go. Alright. After securing the suspect, I examined the scene of the crime with my own eyes. That is true. On a memo written on a piece of paper next to the victim's body. On it, the word Maya was written clearly in blood. Ooh, that's an interesting question. The judge, it depends on how far we are in the trial. I think the judge starts every day with his head completely empty, and then it slowly fills to the brim with information over the course of a trial. So if you tap on his head early in the day, it would be hollow, but later in the day, it would be a more dull sound. Okay. Also, there was blood found on the victim's finger. Okay. Hold it. Detective Gumshoe. Do you get a lot of cases where the victim actually writes the killer's name? Sure, it happens all the time in books and the movies. Bruh. This isn't a movie, detective. Oof. Let's talk about reality, shall we? I guess I haven't heard of many cases, no. Don't you find it a little odd the victim would write down a name, especially the name of her own sister? Yeah, actually, you got a point, pal. Uh-oh, Miles. Stop right there. Oh, that's a great animation. Unbelievable. Oh, also fair, also fair. The witness's opinion on the matter is irrelevant. The facts are clear. The victim wrote down the name of the accused. The victim told us the name of her killer. Edgeworth, you can't just assert that. Order, order. That didn't go so well. That's right, what he said. It's this whole testimony. Okay, there has to be a contradiction there somewhere. Let's find it. The Miles, like, shaking head really good. Okay. Let's see. What do we have? Oh, we got the wiretap, right? Oh. Does this help at all? Miles is great. The body was here. I'm worried I missed an opportunity to present the wiretap. Wait, death was instantaneous? How would she have written it if the death was instantaneous? Hold on.
Objection!
Objection! No, that's wrong. Actually... If we could replace objection with actually, that'd be good. Detective Gumshoe, there's one thing I want you to clarify for me here. You say that the victim, Mia Fey, wrote this note. I like having the prop here. Wrote this note. That she was accusing the defendant, Mia Fey? That's really what you're saying. What? This isn't one of those lawyer tricks now, is it? Of course she wrote it. Who else could have? Phoenix is shaking his head now. Yeah, backwards, detective. Backwards? The victim is the only person who absolutely could not have written it. I love this music's great. This is a report from your department, detective. Immediate death due to a blow from a blunt object. She died immediately. Oh, is that like objection in Japanese? But no butting your way to this one, Detective Butts. No, that was my friend actually, Larry Butts. Uh-oh. And in this Miles Edgeworth, the defense has a point. Someone who died immediately wouldn't have had the time to write anything down. Oh, Miles, here we go. Mr. Wright. I beg your pardon, when exactly did you obtain that autopsy report? No, that's wrong. Gotcha. When? I forgot. I'm pretty sure it was the day of. We got it like right away. I'm almost positive it was like right after. I'm pretty sure it was the day of the murder. You're wrong there, pal. Oh, that's my bad. Huge L. Huge L. Oh, right. The prosecution's points being... Oh, man. That autopsy report is outdated, Your Honor. What? Oh, huh? A second autopsy was performed yesterday at my request. Death was almost immediate due to a blow from a blunt object, but there is a possibility the victim lived for several minutes after the blow. I received these results this morning. No way! Your Honor, it's quite easy to imagine that the victim did have time to write Maya. That is all. I see. Damn you, Edgeworth. Should have known you'd have something up your sleeve. God, that's so good. Why, Mr. Wright, you look shocked. Something you want to say? You're a sham, Edgeworth. The detective's a sham. I'm a sham. The fact that he can say I'm a sham is really funny. Okay. Mr. Edgeworth, I've heard there's nothing you won't do to get your verdict. What reason could you have possibly had to request a second autopsy report, Your Honor? He's capping. Mr. Wright, the defense will refrain from personal attacks in the prosecution. No matter, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, say what you will. The evidence in this report is undeniable. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. He would ask for a recount on the M&M jar. Your Honor, I submit this report to the courts. Understood, the court accepts the evidence. Okay. Alright. Well, Your Honor, the evidence strongly suggests the victim was identifying the killer. Suppose that's the obvious conclusion, yes? Take a bow, Edgeworth. Darn, this isn't good. The prosecution would like to call its next witness. This poor, innocent girl saw the murder with her own eyes. Let the witness, Miss April May, take the stand. Oh, word. Sounds cool. It is a very particular type of process. I always recommend people try streaming just to get a feel for like, hey, what is that like? And it's like it is very surprising how quickly it becomes clear it is a different thing than it might seem like at first. Exactly what part of her is innocent. Okay, here we go. April May. Oh god, her default sprite is so what? Oh, witness your name, please. April May, at your service. Wink. Uh-huh. Why? Okay. Order. An introduction should not require any reaction from the crowd. The witness will refrain from wanton winking. Oh, yes, Your Honor. This is not good. It's already captured the heart of every man in this courtroom. Can you tell us, where were you on the night of September 5th when the murder occurred? Gee, I was like in my hotel room. Have anybody seen that clip that went around on social media like a month ago or a few months ago? The anime clip of it was just like captioned like me at the war tribunal claiming I haven't done any war crimes, and then it's just like anime girl going it's really good. Yeah, co-commentators help a ton. This is very true for podcasts and stuff too. Oh, nice, Fi. Welcome. Hopefully the gym's going well. Yeah, I will definitely say that, like, I have a much harder time doing, like, podcast-type stuff alone than with streaming. I think having the streaming, like, the gameplay helps a lot of things to give you something to talk about, but it is definitely, like, solo commentary is very much a acquired skill, and I'm certainly no expert and I'm not perfect at it. I've had a lot of practice over the last couple of few years, but certainly always a work in progress. I checked in right after lunch, and this hotel is directly across from the Fay and Co law offices. That's right, big boy. Incredible. Why? Exactly. Please testify to the court about what you saw. All right, here we go. Witness testimony. Here we go. It was like 9 at night. I look at the window, you know? Objection. Just kidding. And then, ooh, I saw a woman with long hair being attacked. The one attacking her was the mousy girl sitting in the defendant's chair. And the woman, like, dodged to one side and ran away. But that girl, she caught up to her and she hit her. The woman with the long hair, she kind of slumped. The end, that's all I saw. Every little bitsy. Wink. Uh-huh. I thought, now, if I recall correctly from Gumshoe's testimony, the witness saw both of us. Well, Your Honor. I see. It is a remarkably solid testimony. Don't see any trouble to witness any. Wait, Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Wright. What about my cross-examination? I thought the witness's testimony just now was quite firm, didn't you? Mr. Wright, I understand you are Miss Mia Fey's understudy, were you not? You must know her techniques well. Her cowardly way of finding tiny faults in perfectly good testimonies. Hey, how dare you? Well, Mr. Wright, will you cross-examine the witness? Yes? I'll gladly proceed with the cross-examination. If only because I have a feeling that Edgeworth doesn't want me to. She has to have some weakness. Very well, you may begin your cross-examination. Alright, here we go. Alright, this could be a little tougher than last time. It was like 9 p.m. Okay, let's see. Also, rip the monitor away, full stuff. Let's see. You would be a lawyer. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to figure out, like, we could just press her a little bit on some stuff. Let's see. Okay, look out the window. And then I saw a woman with long hair being attacked. What attacking her was the mousy girl sitting in the defendant's chair. The woman, like, dodged to one side and ran away. The girl caught up to her and she hit her. Yeah, okay. Your Honor, my client is way too bad and quirked up and goated with the sauce to commit this crime. It's so true. Maya's fantastic, so... Great character. We could press her on... Your Honor, my client said she was dead ass. Like, I don't think you... That's solid testimony. We can't, you know, have an objection on that. Oh my god. Okay, hold on. It was the mousy girl sitting in the defendant's chair. Okay. We could press her on something. She dodged? Dodged what? Well, the attack. Please, continue your testimony. Okay. We could just press her on every line. I think we're done here. How do you know she was the defendant? Huh? Well, you know. She had a girlish physique. Women know these things. Look, I just know, okay? Hold on. Yeah, Your Honor, my client is, like, totally innocent, but go off, I guess. Only one person at the scene of a crime with a short, girlish figure. The testimony is bulletproof, Your Honor. He's right. There's really not a lot in the testimony that seemed like it was worth pressing with information that we have. So we could question the testimony and try to find something in there that seems off. I think about what else we could press her on, though. Or we could try to present evidence, but that may not work. Something? No, no, that felt weird. I just know. Hold on a minute. The testimony stinks. What? Miss May, I'm willing to bet that. I'm pretty sure she saw when Phoenix walked in. Is the thing that's confusing me so much, right? Like, maybe I'm remembering the scene wrong. My memory is Phoenix walked in, saw the dead body, she screamed, he was there, he saw her scream, and then she was on the phone. That's my memory, but maybe that's wrong. Are you telling the truth? Did you really see the defendants? Erp. Mr. Wright, what's the meaning of this? Yes, what is the meaning? Someone tell me, because I'm clueless. About this, I mean. God. Erp. Okay. If you had really witnessed my client, Maya Fey, you would have noticed her clothes before noticing her physique. Uh-oh. Busted. No one wears clothes like this on a daily basis except her. And I'm no expert on fashion, but her hairdo looks far from normal to me. However, the witness's testimony mentions neither of these things. Testimony is bogus. But... Still, we don't know if she was dressed that way the night of the murder. She was, Your Honor. I saw her. And so did Detective Gumshoe. What do you say to that, Miss May? What are you trying to say, you mean lawyer? I saw what I saw. I just didn't think all the trifling little details are necessary, darling. Miss May, the court would like to remind you to please omit nothing in your testimony. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'll be a good girl, I promise. Wink. Oh my God. Your testimony again, if you would. Damn, I almost had her. Yeah, hair sort of hit or miss, but the clothes, like, you would have noticed, for sure. I did see everything, I did! The victim, the woman, dodged the first attack and ran off to the right, when the girl in the hippie clothes ran after her. She hit her with that weapon. I saw it, I did. That clock, the kind of statue-y clock? The thinker, I think. Busted! Well, does the accuracy of my report not startle you? I see. I only wish it had been so detailed from the beginning. Please begin the cross-examination. Alright. Get owned. Miss May. What you said just now was quite revealing. Revealing? Ooh, you'd like that, wouldn't you? Naughty Mr. Lawyer. You just said the statue of the thinker was a clock. But there's no way of knowing that just by looking at it. Erp. Dude, Erp is extremely funny. Another person in much the same position as you recently called this a clock, too. And he was found guilty of murder. The complicated part is we don't know how... Like, she wasn't in the room. So either she killed Mia and then bolted to the hotel and then watched... But we, like, it didn't look... I don't think it was her. My memory of that shot was that it was somebody with, like, their hair, like, half of their hair, like, curled all the way out. It was somebody with pink hair again. I think it's whoever's we were staying with her in the hotel. Miss May, can you explain how you know this is a clock? Ooh... The witness saw the murder with her own eyes. That's all that's important here. The defense is trying to confuse the issue with trivial concerns. Yes, yes, of course. You will withdraw your question, Mr. Wright. Excuse me? Absolutely insane. Objection! Absolutely not. But questions are all I have, Your Honor. As you may recall, I've caught murderers with these questions before. Well, only once. Objection sustained. You may continue to question the witness. Whew, that was close. If you stopped me there, the trial would have been over. Huh? What? So what happens now? What happens now is you answer my question. How did you know it was a clock? What? That's... because I heard it? Yeah, I heard it say the time. So, you've been to the law offices of Faye & Company. Drinking game every time Jason's character says herb, take a shot? Absolutely not. You die. No. Hey, I didn't say that. Why would I go there? I heard it from my hotel room. The law offices of Faye & Company, where the murder took place, is very close to the hotel. She could easily have heard the clock. Well, Mr. Wright, are you satisfied? Not at all. Full neck-driven head shake. Love it. No, Your Honor. Can't give up now. I'm not satisfied because... Ooh, it couldn't have rung if the batteries were out of it. Right? I think that was the case. Your Honor, members of the courts... Oh, right, right. Hold on. Yeah, we actually have a... Yep. Bingo! Clockwork out. Not just batteries, the whole clockwork. It is inconceivable. The clock in question rang. It's empty. That clock is missing its clockwork. She lies under oath. Absolutely, that's not a great thing. How could you possibly? Just take a look right now. Oh! See anything interesting, Your Honor? It is as the defense says. This clock is missing its clockwork. It's quite empty. Mr. Wright, would you care to explain to the court the meaning of this? It is as you can see. The clock was empty. It couldn't have rung. Therefore, this witness is a big fat liar. Fat? Oh my god. Well, Miss May? Tisk, tisk. Question mark? That's good. Quite a show you put on for us, Mr. Wright. He knew the clock was empty? Somehow, he knew. We're afraid you've forgotten one thing, however. Indeed, the clock is empty. As you say, it can't ring. However, we must ask, when was the clockwork removed? If it was after the witness heard the clock, then there is no contradiction. That's true. That is a possibility. The clock might have been emptied after she heard it. And that is exactly what happened, Your Honor. Well, Mr. Wright, can you prove when the clockwork was removed? Ho ho, impossible, of course. Just kidding, I got it. I have proof. What? Wasn't it you who told me proof is everything? Well, I was listening. And now I'll show you the proof you like so much. The evidence that proves when the clockwork was removed is... Bingo. Oh, oops. Present. Take that! Take that! Oh, nice. Take a look at this. That's a very cute cell phone. I love the judge. Oh, you have a girly phone. Oh, wait, this isn't my phone. Listen. This is the defendant's cell phone. It contains a recorder. It's incredible how few brain cells are among the people on the screen. Recording of a conversation she had with the victim on the day of the murder. Order, order. The defendant's cell phone? This wasn't brought to my attention. Perhaps Detective Gumshoe overlooked it? The good detective better remember he's up for evaluation soon. I gotta say, I'm starting to feel bad for the big fella. Let's hear the conversation. Beep. Alright, so you trying me to hold on to the finger for you, then? If you could. I should probably tell you, the clock isn't talking right now. Huh? It's not working? That's lame. Had to take the clock out, sorry. Okay. Your Honor, I think this makes it clear the clock was already gone by the time this was recorded. Which was well before the witness even arrived at your hotel. Well, Miss May, would you care to explain this to the courts? Just how did you know the weapon was a clock? Yeah, true. Well... Yeah, Phoenix has brain cells sometimes. And Edgeworth seems to have some brain cells. He's using some of them for evil. Well, isn't it obvious? I saw that clock before. What store was that again? I go to so many. Oops, I forgot. So the witness had seen it before? That would make sense. Judge, you were at the trial 2 days ago. Does the defense have any objections, Mr. Wright? Yes. The witness claims she had seen it before, but this directly contradicts a piece of evidence already submitted to this court. Well then, let's see it. It's made by Larry Butts. It's simple. This clock was never in any store, ever. What? A friend of mine made that clock. Only 2 exist in the world. The one that isn't here is in police custody. Impossible. Everything is sold in stores. Yeah? Miss May, I think it's high time you went shopping for a better excuse. And he's like popping bottles in his head. He's patting his own back. He's like, yeah! He may have shopped that one-liner in the mirror the night before. Oh, excuse is not on sale today. He prepped this the night before, for sure. Oh, ho, ho. She's morbing? What's it to, you porcupine head? That stupid clock doesn't matter, okay? She did it, and she should die for it. Die! What happened? Whoa, let's not get ahead of ourselves. This is a court of law, and the witness will remain calm. Heh, oh? Oh. Silly me. She turned JoJo for a second there again. Did I, like, lose it? I guess I did. Wink. Scary. Miss May, let me ask. Tell me, how did you know the weapon was a clock? Oh dear. Does the defense have an opinion on this behavior? Okay, this is it. Yes, Your Honor. Allow me to explain how I see the truth of the matter. Miss April May, you knew the weapon was a clock because... well, I actually don't know what she told me. Oh god. Oh, the wiretap. Right, okay. Yes. The witness had never held the clock in her hand. However, she had heard that it was a clock. She heard? That is correct, Your Honor. There was no other way she could have known but to think it was a clock. I can show you the proof. Well, this is interesting. I love the judge. Let's see it then. Show me evidence proving the witness had heard the murder weapon's a clock. Boop. And present. Have a look at this. Oh, that I found this in Miss May's room. Mr. Wright, please explain to the court what this is. Miss April May, you were tapping the victim, Miss Mia Fey's phone, were you not? Ooh. Your Honor, this is irrelevant. I'm not entirely sure that it is. Objection overruled. It troubles me that our witness was in possession of a wiretap. This is outrageous. The defense truly claimed that the witness was tapping her phone. Absolutely. Even if that was the case, which it's not. You still have to prove one thing. Did the victim ever say the weapon was a clock on the phone? Can you prove that? I think not. Oh yeah? I think I can. It's simple. What? Here's my proof. The proof the victim said on the phone that the weapon was a clock is still the cell phone conversation. Yep. I present the defendant's cell phone. Yes, you've seen that. Listen once more to the conversation between the defendant and the victim. Mia, what's up? You haven't called in a while? Well, okay, hold on to for me. Again, what's it this time? It's a clock. Made to look like that statue, the thinker, and it tells you the time. Miss April May, you used a wiretap to listen to this conversation. That's how you need to think it was a clock. Am I wrong? Your Honor, this is ridiculous. Your Honor, look at the witness's face. Does she seem amused to you? The defense demands an answer. Nerve. Witness, answer the question. Did you tap her phone? Miss May. Shut up, all of you. What gives you the right to talk to me like that? You lawyer. It's no fair. All of you keep ganging up on me like that. Oh, so I'm the bad girl. Is that it? Is that it? Tears. That did it. The court's seen the real Miss April May now. Now deal with the final blow. Did she do it? I don't think... I'm trying to... Maybe I misremembered, but I don't think it was her. I think it was the guy who was with her. Why the wiretap? Why did you tap her phone? Answer the question. Do I have to? Isn't this a murder trial? Isn't tippity tapping irrelevant? Ah, she's saying exactly what Edgeworth wants her to say. Miss May, you were tapping the victim's phone. I hardly call that irrelevant. That's true. It was the victim. While the code does not condone the defense's tone of voice, he has a point. Well, Miss May, do you have an explanation for the courts? Can you prove you had nothing to do with this murder, even though you tapped her phone? Ha! I'd like to see her pull that off. Mr. Lair, I saw the evil grin. Probably thinking I'd like to see her pull that off, weren't you? Damn, she's good. Well, you're not the first man who's thought that. Oh my god. And of course, I can and will. You can't be serious. No way. Way, I say. Way. Oh, and I assure you, I'm serious, Mr. Lawyer. Okay, so. Can I have it at 9 o'clock at night? Why? That's just when I was getting room service from that sweet bellboy. Room service? Iced coffee, I believe it was? Iced coffee. You know, like normal coffee, but cold. If you don't drink it quick, the ice melts and then you have regular cold coffee. Iced coffee? Think I'm making this up? Ask the bellboy. Wink. Ergo, the witness was not on the scene at the time of the murder. I wasn't suggesting she was the murderer. So, where does that leave us? It is my great displeasure to inform you that the witness appears to have been tapping the victim's telephone. However, that is a separate crime with no bearing on the current case whatsoever. Testimony stands she saw the defendant, Maya Fey, commit murder. No, but I'll just walk away. There's no way I can win this unless I tie Miss May to the murder somehow. Well, does the defense have anything to say? Well, come on, think of something. Oh god. The song is so stressful. We could call the bellboy. I don't know if this matters. Like, I don't think there's anything we can get out of her. Trying to think if we can. Here, let me say it real quick. In case we get screwed up here. I'm gonna call a bellboy, but if we get screwed up, we'll also look at bellboy down. There we go. Let's let the call the hotel bellboy as a witness. There's something suspicious over here, and I'm going to get to the bottom of it. I think you've sunken quite low enough already. I object to calling the bellboy. Why? What's your reason? Because I hold that the wiretapping had nothing to do with the killing. However, if you agree to one condition, I'll consent to calling this witness. Condition. If Miss April May's alibi is not called into question after you examine the bellboy, then you will recognize that Miss April May was not the killer, and thus she is innocent. And thereby you must also accept the verdict of guilty for Miss Mayafe. That is my condition. What? Okay. Otherwise Maya will be declared guilty on the spot. Alright. What should I do? Yeah, I mean... we gotta go for it. Alright. Nothing to lose, well, except for, well, everything. Understood. I accept your condition. Fool. You fell right into my trap. Wait. Very well. Hotel bellboy. Are you ready for the witness to testify? He certainly does look like a bellboy. Yes, sir. It's the same sprite. Received your summons in the middle of work, sir. I'd be happy to be of service. That tea set looks rather heavy, so without further ado, the witness may begin the testimony. God, that's funny. I really like that they've been like acknowledging the sprites sometimes. It's like, wow, this guy really does have a heavy tea set in here. Very good, sir. Alright, here we go. I am the head bellboy of the fine Gatewater Hotel in business for 4 generations. I believe I received a call after 8 p.m. in the evening from our guest, Miss May. Asked for an iced coffee to be brought to her at 9 p.m. on the dot, sir. I brought it to her at precisely the requested time, of course, and I delivered the iced coffee to our guest, Miss May herself. I see. Does Wednesday begin its cross-examination? Right. I'm ready. I hope. This is it. I can't prove Miss May was involved with the murder now. Maya will be finished. Okay. Hold on. Okay. After 8 p.m. in the evening from our guest, Miss May. Are you sure it was Miss May on the phone? Absolutely, sir. How can you be so certain? I don't want to say that. Check Miss May in personally, sir. Not only did I see her in all her stunning radiance, but also heard her voice. And then I saw them, and I... The point being, I remembered her quite well, sir. Yes, what then? Okay. Alright, asked for an iced coffee to be brought to her at 9 p.m. on the dot, sir. Alright. On the dot? 9 o'clock on the dot, you say? Yes, I confirmed that detail several times. She was watching a program on the TV. Wished to drink after she finished, sir. 9 o'clock, the time of the murder. I brought it to her precisely the requested time, of course. Delivered the iced coffee to our guest, Miss May herself. You are sure it was April May herself? Absolutely, sir. Absolutely? Yes, sir. As in so very absolutely, sir. It's an endearing mannerism of mine. Holy cow. How come you're so very certain? Well, when I brought the room service, sir, the guest, sir, favored me with a, embrasser? Is that French for embrace? French for kiss, sir. Not a French kiss, sir, more of a peck on the cheek. Why would she have done that? I believe perhaps she was momentarily swayed by my prim demeanor, sir. I never ever forget, sir. Sounds pretty fishy to me. I think our Miss May was up to something and wanted the bellboy to remember her. It's no good. There's nothing there. Is that it? Tisk, tisk. Finally, you I didn't want to go back. This bellboy has absolutely no reason to lie. Now, if you have any decency, you will end this rather tedious cross-examination here. It was a bit tedious. What if I leave the stand? I can't let this happen, can I? Protest? Gotta find something. Ooh, wait, please wait. Yes, does the defense have something to add? One last question. Yes, one last question. Your Honor, I must object. This charade of justice has gone on long enough. Now, Mr. Edgeworth. Alright, Mr. Wright, I'll give you one more question, that's all. Okay. This is really it now. This is my last chance. What I'm asking about. We know there were 2 glasses set out in the room. Now, it'd be tempting to ask for check-in, but she could have just brought in the other person, right? There's someone staying with her. Whereas room service, we know that there were 2 glasses brought up. Oh, I'm so stressed. These are all a little bit tricky. I think we gotta go room service. Like, we know there was a bottle of wine with 2 glasses. We know that. So that's gotta be something, right? Tell me again about room service. Again, sir? Okay. Guest request iced coffee, 18 was the charge? I see. $18. Doesn't that seem a bit expensive? Yes, well, iced coffee used for 2, you know, and you don't skimp on the ice, sir. Nailed it. Okay, finally. Whew. Okay, there we go. Got the detail finally. Okay. What did he say? What did you say? What? What? You still have the what command? I can't remember. Rather, quite. Is this still a thing? No? I thought I made a what command at one point. No. It was good. I don't remember what that was from, but it was a good bit. Yo, Shrew, what's up? No, don't be sorry at all. We just talked about it earlier tonight. Nobody ever be sorry if you're ever you know, away from the stream. It's great. It's always great to see you back, and that's always the big thing. So great to see you. Hopefully you've been doing well. Great to see you again. Yeah, it's been such a blast so far. I'll check it later, but I'm trying to remember. I thought we had a what command. Oh, okay. It was what question mark. There we go. Okay. There was one MGS scene where Snake just says what like 3 times in a row. It's really funny. Bellboy, tell us the truth now. Was someone else staying in Miss May's room? Let's go. I object. That was objectionable. Objection overruled. The witness will answer the question. Yes, I see. Why did you not mention this in your testimony? Oh, well, sir, you didn't ask. Nice try. Not the sort of thing you're normally supposed to mention. Yes, quite. Indeed, it was the, good barrister there, Mr. Edgeworth, who... Witness tampering? Excuse me? Witness tampering? He asked me not to mention it, but I wasn't specifically asked, sir. Oh my god. It is so smart and so dumb at the same time. Is there a sale on Persona dancing games? That's exciting. Yeah, I have the trilogy at least, true, so I'm not sure we're gonna do the whole trilogy like back to back right now, but I'm having a blast so far, and people want to see more of it. I'm happy to do at least all of this, and then we can go from there. Yeah, mandatory is doing whatever it takes to get a guilty verdict, does whatever it takes to get a guilty verdict. More at 11. Ugh. Oh, this Edgeworth sprite is great. You fool. Witness tampering. I've done it. I've won. Miss April May checked into a twin room with a man. Correct? Patrol vibes. Yes, sir. Then, when you brought the room service, you didn't see that man in the room. That's right, sir. Your Honor, we have just learned of another person involved who may have been the murderer. In light of this new fact, I hold that it's impossible to judge the defendant. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Edgeworth? And who, Mr. Wright? Who is this other person? Simple, it was... It could be the bellboy. I think the bellboy just being like, you know, paid off by Miss May, basically. Man who checked in with Miss May. Ugh. Your Honor, as has been previously revealed, Miss April May was tapping the victim's phone, yet Miss May herself has the alibi at the time of the murder. However, that does not clear the man that was with her. The bellboy saw no one else in the room at the time of the murder. My, what a convenient little setup, but it's too late. Too late. Suppose you'd like that if it was too late, wouldn't you? After all, it was you who hid the presence of this other man from the court. Upstart. Amateur. These accusations are ludicrous. Enough. The court acknowledges the defense's arguments. Expect the prosecution and defense to look into this matter fully. Am I understood? Yes. Yes, Your Honor. I will have my vengeance. That is all today for the trial of Maya Fey. Court is adjourned. Yeah. September 7th, 2:24 p.m. District Court. Defendant Lobby Number 1. Mr. Wright! Okay, we have to save. Hold on, it's great break time. Alright, we made it, folks. We made it through. Alright, if you're watching on Twitch, don't move. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for being here. Hopefully you enjoyed today's VOD. If you did, consider checking out the playlist above for more Phoenix Wright. Subscribe below for more content from me, including other Phoenix Wright games, probably. And come out the stream. I stream Sunday through Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern, at twitch.tv/SL_TV. Hopefully we'll see you sometime soon next time. Peace.